Hey everyone, uh, Beckie Belote here. I am a Creative Memories Advisor in Newport News, Virginia, and today I am doing a little demo for my clients. However, I am glad for anybody to tune in. So this is Scrapbook Olympics number 7 tip. For those of you that are following along with me, that are doing the little competitions to try to win medals, today is kind of focusing on the archery one with the monochromatic layout. Now, in the instructions, it says you need to use totally tonal papers. However, I am giving you a little bit more I realize for those of you that invested recently in uh they're the white core cardstock packs. It's going to work beautifully with that, and that is just so beautiful for doing monochromatic. So you can add that to your instruction sheet that you can use a totally tonal set, or you can use the papers from the new white core cardstock that's on the cardstock buffet. Now, if you haven't gotten those yet, if you watch today's message and you're really excited about, I would order you some of that. The only reason why I'm putting a little bit of urgency on it is because it is hot, HOT, which means they are running out. So you can wait till Monday, but please know you're taking a risk. I know some of you have been asked about doing Monday, and I'm watching, I'm watching those to see what's happening, to see if they're getting ready to sell out. And there's not tons left. And I have a feeling a lot of people are going to order on Monday to get the new trimmer bundle. And if they're waiting to get that cardstock bundle on Monday, they may miss out. So I just want to give you the warning. It may last, it may not last. I just don't want to promise anything. Okay. So with that disclaimer, today I am going to show you how really cool having this cardstock is. I would love for you to read it right into creativememories.com. Let's see. If you would want to go to product suggestion at creativememories.com, not suggestions, but product suggestion at creativememories.com, and go ahead and tell them if you like this, that you would love to see cardstock in our permanent line that has this white core option, because I think it's way cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Um, so what monochromatic means is within your page, you stay with different tones of the same color. Okay, that's all it means. It's nothing tricky. It's, look at your photos. What color would make those photos pop, and kind of stay with not soft colors, stay with shades of the same color within the same page spread. Okay. So I did say totally tonals, but really on my page spread today, I used the new cardstock, the dual. In other words, our new cardstock, one color is one side, one side is one color, the other side is another shade of the same color, and the core is white, which gives us some really cool options that I'm going to teach you about. Okay, but I first wanted to let you know what monochromatic means. I'm going to show you a finished page spread. Actually, I'll do that right now. Let's do that too. Let's show you the finished page spread that I did first, and then I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so monochromatic, this is in the purples. Okay, you see all kinds of purples on this page. This right here actually came from Welcome Home Baby. And there's very similar color. I mean, this pattern is very similar in some of our totally tonals too, as I recall. But this is Welcome Home Baby purple that I put here. These mats right here came from the This Life line. This line, I believe it was just the designer print. And then the other colors on here, over here, they came from here. They came from the new the dual cardstock colors with the white. This is the purple, and this is the two tones. And again, there's white inside. All right, so what's cool about white inside? You see this? This is paper tearing. And when you tear a cardstock that's not solid all the way through, it gives that really cool look. All right. Another thing that you're going to be able to do is take any of it and you can wipe it and have the color kind of fade away, which you're like, why would I want my paper to do that? Well, you can get kind of really cool looks. And I have been fooling around with this is the embossed flower. This is still available. If you haven't gotten this one, this is a good one. I like to draw in the little embossing things to make them pop. But I have decided that I even really like the embossed punches now even better with the white core. All right. So with the white core, you're going to be able to really easily get this look right here. Do you like it? Is that just beautiful? And look at the edges of this right here. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do paper tearing. I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to show you how to do this. All right. So first of all, that little I call this kind of a base mat to build an embellishment grouping on. I don't like my embellishment groupings all over the place. I like to kind of isolate them so that my photos really can take the show, but yet it's got that beautiful pop. When you look at it, just kind of takes your breath away. So this came from the gemstone cutting patterns, and I did use the blue blade on the inside of that to get that size if you're going to copy this one. All right. The little leaves that I added here came from I talk about them all the time. It's one of my favorite products. It's the I think they're called floral embellishments, and they come in all different colors, and they have leaves and these little leaf with the buds on them. Okay, so that's where those come from. I used some foam squares. The dark purple flower I actually popped on these, which you probably can't tell, but it's really pretty here how it's nice and popped. Um, and then these are the right on strips. If you haven't experienced those, I'm gonna talk about those a lot too, for journaling on. Okay, so that's what I have on the page. So now let me show you how to do some of these skills. All right, so we're gonna start with this. So if you use a double mat like I do, I know a lot of my clients are using my double mat. I would fold it up and I would and again a lot I'll be frank, a lot of times I'll just tear the paper, but when I do that, you all get freaked out because you don't like it that you don't have measurement. So I'm just showing you a good way to use your mat so that when you tear, if you don't have a tearing tool, I used to have a tearing tool and I don't know what happened to it. And we don't sell those there. So I'm going to show you an alternative if you do not have a tearing tool. So I'm going to take it in. So from the edge of the mat to that first solid line is about a half an inch, and I'm going to take it out to just an inch. All right, so that would be right here. All right, so half an inch plus another one of those is about there. And I'm just going to put the paper there, and I'm just going to take my hand down and I'm just going to tear it. Okay. Like I'm gonna tear it on this edge of the mat. So I'm going to put my finger there to let that guide me all the way down. And guys, you don't want it to be absolute perfect. You want it to be ragged. If you didn't, it wouldn't be a tear, right? So you're just tearing it. You're just kind of giving it a guideline so it kind of stays within your parameter. All right. All right. So then this looks like this. And this looks like this. All right, so I'm going to cut this off. And we had it on the inch line. What I'm going to do is use my mat to see what it really is. Okay, so it's actually reaching out. Some of these little pieces are actually reaching out an inch and a half, but not quite. So when I cut this, I'm going to go maybe to inch and a quarter, maybe a little bit more, so that it's about the same size. All right. It doesn't have to be exactly the same size because we're getting ready to stack them on each other. And so then what I did is I took my adhesive, I stacked one on top of the other in whichever way I liked the best to get that look. What do you think about that? Is that super cool? All right. So that's paper tearing. All right. Then the next thing I wanted to show you how to do is let me cut you a shape out of this also. Go ahead and use a circle or an oval, doesn't matter. Or maybe I'll just show you this in case you're copying me, just to make sure you understand. Again, we have cutting patterns, all kinds of different cutting patterns. This one came from the gemstone patterns. It's got hearts and diamonds, and it's a good one. It's a good one for decorations. I like it a lot. All right, so I'm using the blue blade on that inside track to get that diamond. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use sandpaper. So you probably can find this right out in your husband's garage. My husband didn't have any, but my next door neighbor did. And evidently there's different degrees of scratchiness. I guys, I don't have any kind of technical talk, but this they have different like they have numbers on the back of them. Like this is a 600 and it's not quite as scratchy. This one is 320, and that is what I'm using today in case you're digging around and your husband has a variety of scratchy sandpaper. And you just go around with edges and you get that look. You see that? If you want it more so, like if you want it more scratchy, you really can kind of scratch on the surface too. Actually, I'm curious what this 600 will do. It could be that we need, oh yeah, I like that too. Okay, so it kind of gives that like faded texture. So maybe you should ask your neighbor if your husband doesn't have any for a little variety. All right. So this is 600. This one is more scratchy. And it really does a real good job too on these edges. All right, you like that? All right, so what's cool about the emboss? Let me show you what's cool about the emboss. So here's the hexagon. I think these are the only two embossed that we have right now. We've had others, so you all might have some others in your have collectors out there. So, oops, when you emboss, it's best to put some pressure. So not only do you just punch, but you put pressure, and that's what gives you the little ridges. So this one I wasn't paying attention, and it gave me a hexagon with no ridges at all. This one I put some pressure in it, and now you can see those ridges. But take a look what happens when you throw your sandpaper on top of those ridges. Makes them real obvious. Well, that's my biggest complaint is I really want them to stand out. And on this, really, what do you think about that? Is that super cool? All right, so love, love, love that. And then let's look at the embossed flower while we're at it. So I'm gonna punch, put some pressure, and then we're gonna get little flowers here. And I will tell you, at first I thought it would only work on the side that was ribbed, but it even works on the reverse side to allow it to pop. Okay, so it's gonna work on either side to give you that look. All right, but the pop side, it does work better um to grab all of those little ribs and pull off the color. Is that super cool? So I'm talking, you guys, probably a dime's worth of sandpaper is going to give you this trick. I don't know. Home office will probably come out with something, a tool, knowing them, which would be really cool. But right now, sandpaper. All right. So, anyways, I hope you like it. I hope you like the white core cardstock. I hope that you'll ask for them to add some of these colors back to the line permanently. But in the meantime, if you want some, you better order. I would recommend ordering today, Saturday, August 3rd, or tomorrow, Sunday, August 4th, or early Monday morning, August 5th. But if you're waiting for the new product release at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Monday, the 5th, you are taking a risk because there will be a line. Everybody is going to be ordering, and they may be ordering their new super cool trimmer bag with their new trimmer. And as a result, they may get that white cardstock. So if you are chancing it, please order right at 1 o'clock. I don't want anybody to miss out. All right. So thank you so much for watching. And you will have a fabulous rest of the weekend. Today is Saturday. I will not be doing a tip on Sunday, so I can relax with my family and enjoy the Lord's day. But I will see you on Monday.